to WRPB and WRPB Studios. Okay, some people have talent, and some people like me have no talent. But I always amazed to see what people can create out of nothing. Next to me is Sam Masucci. Masucci.
Yes, sir.
And you have Masucci Woodwork.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's a weird thing in this world to hear people still having a craft.
Oh yeah, it's hard, and now some people nowadays they look at something and they just draw blank.
Well, we go to Amazon and buy it
Exactly.
in plastic.
Exactly. Some people already draw it up for you, and then they give you the instructions to build.
Right.
I wish it was that simple on my head, because I look at instructions and I'm like, get rid of them.
Okay, so success for me is when you can buy a desk and it comes put together for you. So you don't
Yes.
put it together.
Yes.
So you're into woodwork.
Yes, sir.
Why?
I love math. Something about me growing up, I just very good with numbers. And there's not a lot of fields that you can do besides engineering that, numbers are come into hand. One day, I was doing carpentry in high school. We were doing wood shop, nothing big, nothing out of the ordinary. Just build a desk. Build a chair, basically. Just build something sturdy, teacher said. He's not giving us no instructions. He wanted to see if we can do something with numbers and see how our numbers play with. I was one out of the 5 that actually did it right out of a class of 30.
Oh, wow.
So we actually did it to where when you sat down, it didn't fall. Yeah, it did not fall. That was the biggest thing.
All right, you buy chairs from Walmart today and you sit on them, they break. Okay.
And sometimes it fails. Sometimes you get the good ones.
Yeah, rare.
Yeah, rare.
Okay. So, I mean, first of all, how long are you doing this?
10 years now. Just hit 10-year mark actually a couple months ago.
All right, so woodwork to me is like people think, well, it's just building desks and stuff, but it's more than that, right?
Somewhat. I build kitchens, closets. I build built-ins, reach-ins, pantries, offices. Anything that you can basically make a structure out of wood, I'd handle.
So do you design it?
Yes.
So you start from the design phase. So I say to you, hey, I want a cabinet built in that corner. You'll come and measure.
I'll come measure. I will do everything, all the steps necessary. So if you wanted it inside that corner necessarily, there's a windowsill. Got to keep that into effect no matter what. Can't go to where it's budging into the window because then it just doesn't look professional,
Right.
Of course. And then there's also to where I need to ask you is like, what do you plan on putting over there? Do you plan on putting mugs? Do you plan on putting a vase? Just a regular table, Do you plan on putting that jar right there? It all depends on what you
He's
plan
pointing
on.
to a jar that actually is there, just so you know.
So it all depends on what you are utilizing that area for. So that's where the custom work comes into hand, and that's where my designs and some aspects to where I just am familiar with just falls into place.
All right, so over there, where you were just pointing to,
Over there.
there's a dresser with 4 drawers.
Yes.
So just to tell you how things are made, the top drawer has microphones.
Okay.
The drawer underneath, I can't tell you what it has because the bottom of the top drawer has come down and fallen, and you can't open the other drawer.
So.
And that's how things are made.
Okay.
Okay. I think what it's made of is like cardboard.
MDF is what the correct term, but yes, it's basically a similar form of cardboard. So cardboard is just very thin, but it's very thick. MDF is just pressed down. It's pressed and glued, and it's heated, and it's just it forms down to where you need it to form as like pieces like this right here. This is actually called particle board. So this would be.
Don't be picking on my table.
No.
They can't see the table. Okay.
The table right here is actually a very good table.
That's what they're looking at.
Yeah. The desk here necessarily.
Right.
Pardon me. The desk here is made of particle board, which is just pieces of board that are just pressed together, so you can get your form that you would purposely want. So at this point right here, they usually come in 4x8s, 5x9s. It just depends. That's the full manufacturing part of this. But then there's edge band that goes across of this. So there's just steps that you start from the top to the bottom.
The problem there on that dresser that we keep pointing to that corner over there.
Yeah, that dresser.
Okay, is that the frame, for lack of a better word, has a cutout where it slips into and it falls out of that cutout.
Oh, you're grooved out. I see what you're saying.
That's
The
a
drawer is grooved out and the bottom
All right,
piece
stop
fell
picking the
out.
fancy words that I don't know.
Sorry, wait. So sometimes that happens to where if you're stuffing some down in, I've actually had an instant where a customer called me one time and explained to me that exactly that, the bottom. That was made out of cardboard, like you said. I use maple. I use real wood.
Uh-huh.
So for a customer to call me up and tell me that the bottom came out, she must have been doing something. And got to the bottom of it. Actually, after going to the residence, speaking with her, seeing what was going on, I ended up seeing her 5-year-old run by. And she was adorable. Nothing about the kid, but you can tell the kid was Terror, exactly.
You can say it.
So I asked her, I was like, any chance your kids have anything to do with this? And she said, yes, actually. She stood inside of this truck door. It's like, okay, well, there's the main reason. So sometimes the weight, that's your biggest thing, is weight, or the correct term would be stuffed in too much, over, you know what I mean? Overfilled, yes, sir. And it just varies on that. But if what you're explaining, it sounds like it's just overfilled with too much weight.
So my wife says, hey, we have a wall with a window, but I would like a bookshelf built around into the wall, onto the wall.
Yes, sir.
Is that what you do?
Oh, everything.
Really?
Yes, sir. I could do TVs.
Well, she has like $2,000, so.
Oh, I have plenty.
Cookbooks.
I've actually built one for a close buddy of mine. He had about 250 books. Nothing big.
2,000. She has
But
2,000 books.
We can do from wall to wall.
Right.
We can do it to where it goes above the window, and you can have more storage up top to books that she would never see, and then she would have her regular books on the sides, and then at the bottom we can do open cubbies on the end with some doors to hide her good books. Open on the end, just a nice little thing depending on where the wall is and where the window falls. We can get you something, guys.
So my question now is, all right, so you come and you see it, you measure it. How do we decide what kind of wood it's going to be?
Okay, so there's first part, budget. It's the main one.
$5.
Perfect. We could do something with cardboard.
Okay.
But first thing is budget. I always ask the customers, I have different varies. I have particle board, which is the cheaper one, but it's
Right.
industrial strength. Then there's regular plywood, which is, everybody knows a plywood, but there's different levels of plywood. There's different grades. So you can get the cheaper grade of cores, and we can do something like veneer. That's the cheaper grade. Or you can do something as birch or maple, which a lot of people are familiar with. Those are the ones that are a little bit up there. So it all depends on budget. That's one. And then two, once you pick out a budget, we can go with just certain type of wood grades. Your particle boards, you have different color options. You have a lot more color options like this right here.
Right.
But you have a lot more color options with particle board compared to plywood, because then plywood people like to paint. So it depends on painting, or it just depends on having something that's already finished.
So so if you get a particle board, it's going to already be the color that you want and
Yes.
whatever. But what about like the edges?
So the edges are there is machines that are $10,000, and then there are machines that are $250,000. So the edges, it also depends on that. I like to deal with the finest tuning of any type of machinery out there, because you pay for the best. You know
Right.
what I mean? Even if it's a great price, doesn't mean necessarily it's cheap stuff.
Right.
So I like to go and get the highest of the highest. That edge that you see on the front is, you need an edge bander. So there's certain woods that match to that color that you are going to.
So it seems like there's like a million ways to plan this out.
I think of it as an engineered aspect. An engineer looks at it from the top down, no matter what. That's my job. If I'm walking into a corner, I have to engineer it to where it's structurally built, to where it is designed right, and it also looks great, because looks are everything at the end of it.
Right. That's what people are buying, obviously, because they buy from discount stores.
Yep.
They buy for looks because the stuff is made like crap.
Exactly.
My dad was always one that used to yell at my mom. He said, buy good stuff, because you're going to have to buy it 3 times, and at the same time it's going to last forever.
Exactly.
We have a brake front, a hutch in our house.
Yes, sir.
That's very old. It looks brand new, but it's an old style.
It's an old style.
But
you
it's
can tell.
made perfectly.
It's made to last. That's where we drifted off. You know how
Right.
that is. In
Right.
the past, we just drifted away from stuff that people want inside the future. And in the past, I know for a fact we built stuff to last. I will admit that.
Everything is today's throwaway.
Yep. Everything. I'm glad you
Everything.
said that. I'm
Yep.
glad you said that.
All right. So I always say this: being an entrepreneur, you have to be a little bit crazy.
Insane.
Okay.
Insane.
Because everybody thinks you're making $1 million, and it doesn't work that way.
Yep.
We make like $1.80 an hour.
If that sometimes.
Right, if that sometimes.
Sometimes we lose money.
So, but to start in a business and be successful, I believe you need family support.
Yes.
So, do you have family support?
I do have some family support. I do have my girlfriend and my kids. My sister is the main one of them, and my mom, of course. The reason why I have my daughter as a support, her name is Sage. She's the main reason why I started the business, actually.
How old is she?
She's 3.
Okay.
And just something about it, as you say, your kids make you want better for yourself. And I just remember looking inside those eyes, and I told myself, I'm going to give you everything I never had. And the only way for me to do that is to do what I have to do.
Well, if you're at a job, the acronym is just above broke.
Yep.
I remember when I started this company, and I had a philosophy that I would wait until the 3rd week of the month and look at what I've done, look at my bills, and that will tell me how many hours I have to work the last week, so that I never ran in the red.
Yep, exactly.
Okay?
I know what you mean.
So, and it's not that I worked less the rest, but sometimes you have to work that little extra just to make sure you can catch up and be where you need to be.
You are absolutely.
And it's difficult because you can't tell FP&L, hey, I had a bad week.
Yep, exactly. Okay? I understand.
So you have to be able to move forward, and everything is relying on you.
Everything. So,
Okay.
yes, you are absolutely
as a
correct.
one-person operation, I guess that you were one-person operation?
Yes, just me and myself and my kids.
Okay, so that means you have to be the salesperson. You have to be the construction person, for lack of a better word, the installation person, and the collector.
And the collector. Yep,
Okay.
exactly.
So that gets to be a tough job. I'm gonna guess that the philosophy for what you do, because of what I'm getting, is you don't. Someone comes to you and says, "I want shelves." You don't want to put up something that's going to fall apart.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm also custom. I don't like just doing, all right, there's standards to where there's like 12 inches, which is a foot, 18 inches, a foot and a half, 2 feet. Everybody's familiar with those numbers. I do custom. I'm fully custom.
So you make it fit where it would not normally fit.
Exactly. I would do stuff that out of the ordinary company would never do. And you guys are more than welcome to check out the website, and you can see some custom.
What is the website?
Masucciswoodworks.com.
Spell it.
MASUCCIS Woodworks WOODWORKS .com, and all social media platforms as well, the exact same. And check out the work, guys. Trust me.
What's the phone number?
862-215-4654 is direct cell phone. You guys can call me at any time you need me.
Times have changed. People don't get nervous like, well, 862, we're not even near that. But I still use my 561 number.
Exactly.
Okay? My wife still has a number from Indiana when we met. So, and it's not long distance anymore. We're not paying the same way you used to.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, you're a lot younger. So for me, it's like I remember when you paid by the minute. You might remember that.
Yeah,
but I remember when the phones were attached to the wall and I had a cord.
We had to take out the internet cable, the Ethernet cable, to plug it in.
Yeah, but
I remember some of it.
There was no Ethernet. It was a spiral cord going to the phone,
yeah.
and the phone was attached to the wall.
I do, yeah.
Okay, I'm older than dirt. You're young yet. You got years to go yet to get to this crazy point that I'm at. But
can't wait.
I will tell you this. When I started this industry, because this industry didn't exist, I got, don't be stupid, get a real job, it's a pipe dream. And the more they said, the more I pushed to make it work.
Yep.
To such a point where I did something that most people would never do. In my 30s, I sold my car, and I was driving an electric skateboard scooter. No, very few people would ever do that, because I was making so much more in a regular job. But I had a dream, and I'm going to tell you, from someone who's older, and I don't know if I'm wiser, but you're going to have uptime, you're going to have downtime. Don't let it get to you. You're in a like, everybody has a cell phone now.
Yeah.
Is a videographer, photographer, and talk show host. That's what they do and they think they're great at it. You've got such a niche that people can't do, okay? So you should take pride in everything that you do, which it sounds like you do, but never give up. It just
Never give
it
up.
was
Thank you.
it was kind of stupid.
No, those are some words that you might, like you said, you might not be too wise, but you are wise. Trust me, we all see.
Everybody, I tell them all the time to use a professional. I get it. I bought stuff at big box stores and stuff, and it's good for a year or 2 years, maybe 3 years, but it's the stuff that's, I don't even want to say custom made, because that's even a better than some of the stuff you buy. But like my dad always said to my mom, spend a little bit more money, otherwise it's going to cost us more. Use the professional. Buy the better stuff.
You pay for what you get, guys. Remember that.
Sam, thank you for coming on.
Thank you, guys.
Everybody, check him out. Give him a call. Check out his website. We'll be right back.
Thank you. Thank you.